So I switched from the S25 Ultra to the RAZR Ultra. This is my new daily driver phone, and it's finally the first phone since we got them this year to dethrone it, right? So if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you know that I love the S25 Ultra. I've been using this as my daily driver, primary SIM card in it for over 3 months. Like it came out on the 22nd of January, and I got mine at the Unpacked event with Samsung out in San Jose, and I've been using it since then, and I love the phone. However, I finally found a phone that maybe I might love more, and that's the Motorola RAZR Ultra. So it's like it took an Ultra phone to dethrone the Ultra phone. But hear me out on this. So this isn't like some silly gimmick video where it's like, oh, I switched. I no. This is something to tell people this phone is the real deal. Now, is it perfect? No. And of course, no phone is perfect, right? I mean, I wish the S25 Ultra had 16 gigs of RAM. I wish the S25 Ultra still had the Bluetooth features with the S Pen. There are things that I wish that it still had. I wish it had faster charging, but the RAZR Ultra, this phone is beautiful. Like, it's beautiful. I've got the Scarab model, which means I've got the Alcantara Italian leather on here. It's basically just suede on the back of this phone with the stitching. It's beautiful. And there's no compromises in the performance, finally. So, and that's one of the reasons, and I kind of had this feeling once I saw this phone in New York a couple of weeks ago, like, man, I want to use this phone. And there's not a lot of phones nowadays where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just want to use this phone. And it's funny because when I made my first Ultra video the other day, somebody was like, man, I haven't seen you this excited about a phone in a long time. And really, I haven't been. I mean, this right here, it is such a nice phone. And I love the flip phones. I mean, if you've been following my channel for any period of time, I am a huge advocate. I've been covering the flip phones ever since the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. Like I had the Z Flip, the Z Flip 5G, the Z Flip 3 and 4, the 5, and then I've had the Motorola RAZR Plus since they came out with it again in the 2023 model, then the 2024. But they all had something. Like they were not an ultra phone. Yeah, there was too many compromises here or there where it's like, okay, it's a great phone, it's nice, but I can't use this as my daily driver. This one changes things. And listen to the specs on this thing. So this has got the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. So last year, while all the other phones had the Snapdragon 8 Generation 3, this one had the 8S Generation 3. Like it was more like an 8 Generation 2 with some more AI capabilities. Like it wasn't the same. Or, maybe it had less RAM in the past, or maybe it had less storage, or there were concerns about the hinge, or there were concerns about the crease, whenever it came to the phone, or the cameras, or whatever. There have been so many changes with this phone, and it's also got like this 4 times better hinge now. It's got like a titanium reinforced hinge that's better. The build quality, it has a 7-inch display on here, 165 hertz on the inside, 165 hertz on the outside, 4-inch display, which I love. This was a big huge flowing display upgrade last year with the Plus, which this phone, I think that it blows the Z Flip out of the water. And I've been saying this for a while. Motorola has the best experience when it comes to the flip phones. They have the best software experience. You can use any app you want on the front, and you wouldn't think that would be a bragging point. Like, what's the point of having a big front screen if you can't use apps on the front? Well, with the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip, even the Z Flip 6, natively, like when it comes out of the box, you can't use any apps on the front. You have to go into the settings, into the S Labs to enable it, and then there's only 4 or 5 apps you can use on the front screen. You have to download Good Lock in the Samsung Galaxy App Store, and then go through all these steps just so you can use apps on the front. Like, that's what this is for. I don't know how Samsung missed the memo, but Motorola got it right. And it's just such a nice phone. But again, Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, which is great. In addition to that, it has 16 gigabytes of RAM. It starts at 512 storage. So 512 gigabytes of storage in this phone. I have the 1 terabyte model. So I've got a terabyte of storage, 16 gigs of RAM. There's 4 gigs of RAM more than the S25 Ultra. And granted, yes, this phone's not supported for 7 years, but it's got more RAM. It's got UFS 4, and that's fine for storage. But it's also improved the IP rating, right? It's got IP48 now instead of IPX8, which is nice. I mean, you get a little bit better dust resistance, which is fine. I wasn't too worried about it. I don't take this out in like the desert. I'm not going out on the beach or anything. But they made major improvements across the board with this phone. Like, the speakers are nice. It's got a brighter screen now, 4,500 nits peak brightness. They extended the 165 hertz on both screens, and it's got a big battery, 4,700 milliamps, 4,700. And that's always been one of the compromises with the flip phones. They have the smaller batteries, right? So when you take a look at this one, 5,000 milliamps, like Samsung, and that's one of the complaints. Everyone's like, why don't they put a bigger battery? Why don't they use the silicon technology? Samsung is very slow to adopt this stuff. Also, 45-watt charging over here, which is fine. I don't have a problem with it. Like, the charging is just fine. But then you got 68-watt charging over here. 68-watt charging in this little flip phone, and you get a 4,700 milliamp battery, and you still get 30-watt wireless charging, and you get 5-watt reverse wireless charging. So it's got all that stuff going for it, which is nice. Android 15 out of the box, and it's great. Like, the only two complaints I have about this phone, like, there's only two so far, is it's a little slick. Like, the sides, it's got this the brush, like, kind of brushed metal on the sides. It is very slick. But I'm not putting a case on this phone, because if you put a case on the phone, then it defeats the whole, oh, I've got this really nice alcantara Italian suede leather on the outside of it, right? And the other issue is the telephoto. There isn't one. I wish that it had one. And it's weird, because last year with the Plus, Motorola adopted a telephoto. So, but it was only a 2x telephoto, so it's like, what's the point? Because you get basically optical quality 2x crop whenever you shoot this. You do 2x zoom with the digital nowadays, and it's basically as good as a 2x optical. This one's got 50 megapixel cameras all the way around. You get two 50 megapixel cameras on the primary and the ultra wide, and then a 50 megapixel selfie. So I wish it had the 3x telephoto. That would be really nice, because I was walking around New York and I was trying to shoot some shots, and I was like, okay, it would be really nice if I had a zoom lens, right? But I mean, I was able to take some zoom shots with it. They're just not the most amazing in the world. Like, this right here is a 3x shot that I got of the One World Trade Center from a pretty decent distance away. But it's like, yeah, you can take this shot, and then you can zoom in a little bit. So, I mean, even the 3x is okay, but it's like, I wish we could find some room to put telephotos in these phones. That would be really nice. But yeah, I love this phone. I've been using it for probably like 4 days now, and it's something that's really, it's just such an exciting phone. It's nice having that flip phone again. It reminds me of whenever I was younger, and like the older flip phones, the older Razr. I never had an original Razr. A lot of people think maybe I might have had one. I didn't. I actually had an LG, which that's kind of when I fell in love with LG, because LG was making such good flip phones back in like the year 2001, 2002, like 23 years ago now, which is crazy. I've been using phones for so long now. Sometimes I have to sit back and remind myself, like, okay, Adam, you're 41 years old. Whenever I had these conversations, I'm like, yeah, that was like, maybe you're not there yet. If you're a younger person, you're not there. If you're older, you know what I'm talking about. And you're like, oh yeah, that was like 10 years ago. And like, okay, well, I was only in my 30s 10 years ago. But you're like, oh yeah, I used to love that place like 20 years ago. And like 20 years ago, I was 21. So I'm like, God. So my whole adult life has basically been, the smartphone world. And yeah, it's just hard to find something that's exciting and compelling anymore when it comes to smartphones, right? Everything else, it changes so much all the time, but everything else still stays the same. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, I wish that we had a little bit better whenever it came to this stuff. And I wish we could get some newer stuff. I was just seeing a tweet the other day or yesterday. I'm like, man, Casio had a radio watch back in the mid 90s, or I'm like, that was so cool. They had a watch with a little antenna. You could pull it out and you could listen to the radio. It was different times back then. But that was one of the biggest criticisms of the S25 Ultra, is the same old, same old. Like, we just keep getting the same stuff over and over and over again. And it's like, we need some new stuff. Like, how do we have 12 gigs of RAM and a $1,299 phone in 2025, right? That's a legitimate complaint. So Motorola went basically all out whenever it came to this phone. And there's a reason they call it the Ultra. And this thing is legit. Like, I don't feel like I'm compromising on the performance. I don't feel like I'm paying a lot of money and having a slightly lesser chip, a lesser experience, or lesser battery, or like, the cameras are good too. Like, I love the primary camera in here, and a lot of people are like, oh, Motorola has crap cameras. They don't. They really don't. And I did a blind camera comparison last year when I had the Razer Plus 2024, and out of all the phones, there's like 100 different phones, and I went through and I checked all these images, And the one that came out as number one for me was the Razer Plus 2024. Like, I like the way the photos look. I like the camera appearance. I like the kind of more natural look. They do a good job. Nice fast shutter speed. So there's just so much stuff about this phone to like, and it really has. It makes phones fun again. Like, that's no doubt. I mean, a flip phone is fun, and I have a lot of faith in this phone as somebody who's used Motorola phones, the flip phones, for the last couple of years. But yeah, I'm going to use this one for the foreseeable future, probably a couple of weeks. I mean, I know I'm waiting on the Sony, and I know it doesn't mean as much in my world. We're like, oh, I switch phones. It's not like somebody who's like, okay, I'm going to use this phone for the next 3 years. But the S25 Ultra, to me, is a special phone. It's, I think, the best Samsung phone, non-foldable, they've ever made. I've really enjoyed it. It's such a good phone. But I'm not just switching, like, for testing purposes. Like, this is my daily driver phone now. Like, this is what my SIM card's in. This is what I'm using for the foreseeable future. And, you know, it might take the Sony Xperia 1 Mark 7 to dethrone that, but it's not coming out to July, right? And then, talking about innovation, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge is going to be out in a couple of days. Well, I mean, the Edge, it looks cool, but that is that innovation? And this, to me, is innovation, but they've taken it to the next level. Motorola's not just sitting back on their laurels like, oh, we'll just give them the same phone again. And granted, yes, this phone costs $12.99. It's an expensive phone, but they've got the pre-order right now. You can get the free storage upgrade to 1 terabyte for the same price, which is nice through Motorola. Or if you go through Best Buy, you can get a free Clicks keyboard, which is pretty cool too. And it's kind of like that BlackBerry experience as well. And shoot, I can't wait till I get a Clicks keyboard for this, because then I can use this big 4-inch screen with the keyboard like a BlackBerry. And that's been one of the complaints about the Clicks keyboard, is the keyboard's so nice, but the phone is so big, right? So having this smaller footprint, the smaller form factor, full flagship experience, like, the only thing, again, I'm missing is that telephoto, and it's a little slippery. I thought about maybe getting some textured tape and putting it on the sides just so I can hold on to it better, because that would alleviate one of the pain points. But I love this phone. Like, I really love this phone, and I've been really enjoying it, and I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I know, like, it's one thing for y'all to watch a video and you're like, okay, he reviewed that phone. That's a good phone. I'll go ahead and check it out. But if I'm this excited about a phone, I want y'all to know, right? And it was enough that it's not just, okay, I'm testing out the modem. This is going to be sitting on the desk for a while. This is my new numero uno phone for right now. So that's all I got. If you have any questions, comments, gripes, concerns, complaints, all that stuff, please, of course, go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and a little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.